Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the things we did not get to during the course of the show today, including an update from yesterday. Gavin was not here at the end for Aftercast. He had to leave and take his wife to urgent care, and his wife Haley apparently died laughing at something he said yesterday.
I'm that funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
But she's
I killed it.
Oh, I could see how that sounded bad. Yes,
You're
I get
like
it now.
the doctor on what is it, Arrested Development?
Yes,
Doctor,
yes.
they're like, what? He doesn't finish. Just like, are you kidding me?
Yes, but Haley
Can
is
you
doing
imagine,
good.
like, if that's how we said it?
So she's good though, right?
She's good. She
Okay.
has terrible acid reflux.
Nice.
It runs in
Which
the family. Well,
I've
I
got
guess
it.
not family because
You're not related.
But when y'all have a kid,
Oh, and they're going to be
prepare
in
yourself
trouble.
because babies can get acid reflux and then milk comes out of their nose.
That's
No.
what I've heard about. Like, it's called like colic or something.
Colic,
where they just like
and they cry
and they
nonstop.
keep you up nonstop.
yeah.
Haley had
and I'll
some of
understand
that.
it. I'll understand it because
Yeah.
I gave it to them.
Yeah, my daughter had a little colic when she was younger, and it's a lot. It's a lot to handle. But maybe she'll be fine. Maybe your child will be like great.
Maybe we'll cancel each other out
Right.
for it.
It must have been pretty bad though if she went and
Yeah, just the fact that she was feeling that like level of pain in her like kind of like chest and
Yeah.
throat area, like because the way that she was communicating it to me, it made me feel like it was something that was gonna be like
Worse.
I thought it was gonna be a lot worse, and we've been hearing like all these stories about people that are younger in their 20s like having heart related
right.
issues, and so that's every time I feel a little bit of pain in my chest, I'm like, oh my goodness,
I'm dying. I'm
gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Don't hit me in the chest.
Now, do you she said she felt like pressure in her chest. Did she have the burning of acid reflux too, or no?
She said she wasn't feeling it quite as much because it was coupled with the like not being able to breathe as much, which when I've had my reflux be as bad as it can be, I have had moments when you're just like feel like you're fighting for breath.
Yes, okay. My wife was gone one time, and I had a Midwestern bacon butter burger at.
There you go, America.
I know, at Steak and Shake. Okay, it gave me the worst like heartburn I've ever had in my life. I didn't realize it was heartburn. I'm in bed alone. It's probably midnight. I can't breathe. I think I'm having a heart attack, and it's just horrible.
what does it feel like?
Like you're having a heart attack.
It
your
can be that
chest
bad.
is tight. You can't breathe. I'm sitting up. I couldn't get comfortable any way I laid. I'm like, I'm gonna die here. This is crazy.
Did you call 911?
No, I didn't, because I'm like, okay. I took some Tums. I was trying to figure out maybe this is it, because I had heard people like going to the hospital for a heart attack, and then it turned out to be like a heartburn. And so finally, like 2 hours later, it calms down, and I'm able to fall asleep. And so, but here's the best part. I'm like, there's no way that burger is what did that to me. So I had to test it. So like a week later, I went back and had the same burger. Same exact thing happened. So now I've built up a tolerance though, and so now I can eat it and it doesn't happen
See,
to me.
but that's the difference with you. Most people see that as a sign that their body is trying to tell them, hey, don't have
Right.
this again. Whereas you see it as a challenge.
Yeah, build up the immunity. It's like herd immunity in my body.
Well, I will say, just because both of us are so bad with our reflux, I'm like, I think ultimately I need to change parts of our diet because we don't eat super trashy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how can I? Because I was asking, like, can we do things better with our diet? Can we drink more
Did
water?
they tell you that? Like,
They said that it helps. Like if you have like a cleaner,
spicy food or
just like less acidic stuff. Like coffee is like super acidic, and yet I drink it like
every day,
3 cups a day.
Yeah.
And so I know that doesn't help me.
Sure.
Tea is actually
Worse.
not great for you either when it comes to that. And then just like not eating as much greasy food as well, which is just, hard to do in America.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
We're going to try and make it happen.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, if you go out young, you're like, at least you had a better life.
Yeah.
So
Die happy.
yeah, exactly.
What?
I know. My head works like
Food's worth
that.
it.
Yeah, but
Chick-fil-A is worth it.
People don't need. They come here to laugh, and you're just being really depressing.
But no, my head works like that. Like I think, like I shudder to think if I ever got diabetes because I don't know that I could make the changes. I really don't.
It scares me to the idea of that happening because I'm like, I don't like healthy food.
Yeah, I don't know. If they're like, okay, you got to have vegetables the rest of your life, I don't think I could.
You know, I have been going back and forth on what is going on with me. Like, I am wondering if my body is fighting off something because I've been super tired lately.
Yeah.
And like it feels like I just cannot get enough sleep. So I looked it up. They said it could be an iron deficiency.
Haley has that.
Yeah. And because I live a sanitary lifestyle, like I don't get up and I don't move and interact, and I really should.
Yeah.
Also, you need to make sure you get all your vitamins and nutrients, which I should be getting from those supplements that my witch doctor gave me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I should be good with that. But I don't know. They also said that you can feel really tired if your immune system is working on trying to fight something.
Yeah.
And so I was coughing last night and my ear was hurting, and I was like,
Is your ear? Is it the same pain?
No, now it's the left ear. I know.
Back to the witch doctor.
But I also think this is one of the weirdest winters we've had.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can't remember the last time it's been this warm in January.
Oh, I know.
Like I've seen people running in shorts, and I'm like,
raining.
it is January.
Yeah. It's been raining
this
all
time
month.
last year, we were like having sleet
Ice
and
storms.
snow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You just don't know what to expect.
And then it's 27 one day and 70 the next.
Yeah, you don't really know. And my mom always told me that when the weather can't
Figure
stay
itself
stable, then everybody starts getting sick.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's truth to that, but I've always
Marty,
believed it.
my wife, has now gotten into this thing. Like, we had like a bunch of trips at the end of the year last year, and like they were all important, like getting to see Haley for, Thanksgiving and Christmas. And she's like, I just got to not get sick before this trip. And she'd start to feel sick, sure enough. And then she'd take like medicine, and then the next trip, same thing. It's like she's talking herself into it, though. And like last night, she leaves Thursday. She's like, I can't get sick before this trip. And then she's like, oh, I don't feel good. I'm taking Tylenol PM or like cold medicine PM. It's like it's in your head.
Yeah, what is it?
Psychosomatic.
No, like when they say
hypochondriac.
No, and they're like, I'm gonna make it happen. Like the young kids are saying it these days.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're gonna, you know what they're saying? Like they're like, manifest.
Yes.
I'm gonna manifest it.
Yeah.
She's manifesting sickness.
And I get that because I used to always think I was gonna get sick before trips because I don't want to be sick on a trip. And sure enough, it would happen every time. And then after that, it switched, and I would get sick when I got home. Like my body would just let down. Like I'd be so worked up about this trip and work stuff, and then I'd get done, and my body would just be like, "Okay, you're done," and then I would get sick.
You
after
need to be
that.
careful because you're already worked up about the Africa trip.
Oh, I know. Oh, I've already started packing. I'm so excited. You have no idea.
You need to be careful.
I know. I bought like some new pants to go.
Also,
so good.
I'm
drink
bringing
a lot of water.
Yes.
Because when you get overstressed, and especially too, this one is going to be right after a support drive, and the last two that we've had, you've battled kidney stones.
Yeah.
And you don't want a kidney stone flying to Africa.
I don't. I do not.
So
Hopefully
you need
that
to
last
really
kidney
take
stone you
care of
got was
yourself.
Yeah.
good
Because
enough
they
to
say
last a while.
stress causes
I know.
kidney stones. So you need to really keep
I need to
yourself
go back to my
calm.
doctor and up I have like an emergency travel medicine for that, like pain pills. And I had to use some of them on the last kidney stone because it was bad. And so I always have them. So if I'm on a plane and it goes bad, I can kind of take myself down so I can get through it. So I don't have to like have a flight diverted for people because that's like, I would hate that for something I know is not life threatening. It's just annoying. And so I need to go back and see him before we leave. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Not to add to your stress.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, gosh, something else to worry about.
While your foot is going through.
I know. Oh, but yeah, no, I'm really excited about going there. The brick recycler. Remember when we did Hope for Haiti and we went to Haiti and we had people send in Legos to us because we were going to take Legos, and we ended up with a pallet full of Legos. But there was this guy that did this thing called Brick Recycler online, and he reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you have contacts in Haiti anymore? We have somebody that wants to send Legos." And I said, "Oh, well, we're going to Africa. If they want to send some there, that's great." So he's sending me like a suitcase full of Legos that we'll take with us. Like I'll just take an extra suitcase and pack them up and distribute them at the different centers because it's such a great toy for imagination and doesn't need batteries and stuff.
Right.
And so I love taking those. When we went to Haiti, we all took an extra suitcase. We had 20 suitcases of Legos, and I'm like, well, I can't do that this time, but definitely want to hopefully try to take one or two too, for sure. But yeah, I'm excited about that. All right, let's get into some of the other stuff. There's a bill in Portland. You gotta love Portland.
Portland's got the most interesting news.
Yeah, they have a bill that is banning the sale of kangaroo parts.
Whoa.
It's in the Oregon legislature, and apparently they're taking aim at sports apparel manufacturers that use leather from animals like kangaroos in their product.
Kangaroos have leather?
Yeah, well, yeah, their skin is leather, just like any cow. I mean, that's where leather comes from, as a cow.
Duh.
Yeah, it's how you treat the skin. But soccer cleats are one of the products made from kangaroos, and they said that they're routinely sold in Oregon, and Nike does this, and it's a what is it? It's a high-end shoe. And it's a subset of like professional soccer players that wear this. So not a lot of people are wearing them. But they say it's unconscionable that millions of native wild Australian kangaroos are killed for the sake of high-end soccer cleats worn by a subset of elite soccer players. But the reality is people in Australia, they view kangaroos as a nuisance, and they hunt them because they overrun populations, and they have to cull them just like we do other animals here.
I was talking with a friend of mine from church, and he kind of set me straight on that whole thing because he's a hunter. He hunts all kinds of wild animal here in Nashville, but he was helping me see because I've watched Bambi, I've watched Fox and the Hound, and I'm like, do not separate a baby from its mother. And I still say that. But he told me, he said he never shoots a doe.
Right.
But he will shoot a buck.
Right.
And he said if we don't take care of it, they end up running in the road. Right. And then they could kill someone. And so the reason that they put windows on the hunting season is because they need to control the population.
Right.
And so that made sense to me. So in a way, I don't know if in Australia, because we don't have kangaroos here, so I don't know if that's the same case in Australia with kangaroos.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Could they jump in the road and just kill somebody?
They hit cars all the time, and they also it's legal to hunt them, and they have seasons, and they control the population of them because they do run rampant.
Right, and I'm okay. I'm okay with that. It's much more important to save a human's life than it is a kangaroo's life.
But even then, it's like they're all outraged that we would use this for soccer cleats. But look down at your shoes. You should probably have a pair of leather shoes. Cows are going, hey, wait a minute. Why is no one saying moo or boo about us?
Well, why? What else would they want to happen to the kangaroo? They wouldn't want them to just be killed for killing's sake, right?
Yeah,
I would
use
much
it for something.
want it to be used for something.
I mean, that's what the Native Americans did that was so great. When they killed an animal, they used every part of it in their lives. And then that's when we came over as, the new Americans, and we hunted indiscriminately and didn't use every part of it, and we wasted so much. That was wrong, And so when people hunt, I personally can't hunt just because I couldn't do it. I don't want to shoot an animal for not for no reason, but just for my own gain. I just don't want to. I'm not going to clean it. I'm not going to, eat it. And so it's a waste of that animal. I don't want to just mount it on my wall. Look what I shot.
Right.
But hunters that are responsible and use the animal and use it for meat, great, no problem.
And I found out too that and I always knew that you could go to Africa and pay big money and shoot
safaris,
wild game there. But I always thought that's kind of sad. But I realized that they take the meat. If the person that's paying for the trip is from America or wherever, and they don't want the meat, they just want the head, then that meat goes towards the people that are there. Yeah. Right. And I was like, oh, that's really good. I like that idea. I don't want to think that it's just being killed to just
for
be
a
killed.
Trophy. Exactly. Yeah.
But I think that that's really neat.
Yeah. I got one more quick story. This was an update. Remember from the January 6th riots?
January what?
January 6th. The riots.
Me and Haley had lunch with a woman from church last week, and she said something along the lines of blah, 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 26th. And I was like... It's Wally.
Yeah, 26th.
There you go.
So much
the
effort.
storming of the Capitol. Do you guys remember the photo of the guy who had his feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk?
Wasn't he wearing like a crazy headpiece?
No,
too?
that was the cow. That was the guy that had the buffalo head thing.
I can
This
picture
was just another guy. I think he had a hat on, but like he had his feet on Pelosi's desk, and they say he took a file from it and stuff like that. Well, apparently his name's Richard Big O Barnett. He was found guilty of a couple felonies and misdemeanors, and he could face jail time for this. And obviously, he says he didn't get a fair trial, so he is appealing. But they are still actively going through these people. I mean, people that were just, here you go, I'm on camera, not too hard to find you. And so now they are still prosecuting those. But he did testify on his own behalf, and he tried to minimize his involvement. He says he kind of got caught up in the moment, and you just kind of go with the flow, But then this is what's really weird, man. He says, I got blood on her office. I put a quarter on her desk, even though she isn't worth it. And I left her a note on her desk that says, Nancy, Big O was here, you. And then he called her a bad name. Like, you're like, dude, like, even if you don't like somebody politically and you're supposed to be this, this upstanding American man, you don't treat women like that. Like I can't stand Nancy Pelosi. Like, politically, I can't stand her.
Yep.
But I would never write a note to her that way. I would never do that, kind of thing.
Ultimately, she is a human being.
Exactly. And it's like, man, that's crazy. But here's what's funny. He testified at his own trial, and he said that he admitted that he probably shouldn't have put his feet on her desk.
Well,
that was like his big admission. My mama raised me better than that. She always told me, don't put your elbows on the table or your feet on the coffee table, and I did that. He said he was pushed into the Capitol by others, and it's like, okay, don't do that. At least just own it,
you
bro.
You wouldn't have been pushed in had you not been there. And
yeah. You own your stuff, Carl,
right.
or Brad. His name's Richard, but he feels like a Brad to me. So, all right, what do you got, Lady Rock?
I haven't seen this show, but it's on TLC. It's a reality show called I Am Shauna Ray.
Oh, yes.
If you don't know who Shauna Ray is, she is a 23-year-old woman. She had brain cancer as a kid, and the treatment that she got for that cancer stunted her growth. So at 23 years old, she stands at 3 feet 10 inches, and she weighs about 50 pounds.
Yeah. Whoa.
So they say she looks about 8 years old.
She looks like an 8-year-old, and she has a really super high voice. And so the reason, like, for doing a show with her is you have her out at a restaurant having a glass of wine, and obviously people are like, what's this 8-year-old drinking? And she's like, I'm 22, or whatever. Like, so I get where the show has like an appeal of the scenarios where her being an adult looking like a kid feels really weird to people, and why people would want to watch it.
Right. Well, recently she has gotten into a relationship with a travel blogger by the name of Dan Swigert. He's 26 years old. So a 23-year-old and a 26-year-old. Sounds great, but a lot of people are creeped out by their relationship.
Right. And they shouldn't be.
And they shouldn't be, because he is a grown man.
Right.
But she looks like she's 8 years old. Now, he posted a video on social media explaining their relationship, and he did have a good point. He said, quote, as soon as you say that she can't have a real world connection with someone else, you dehumanize her. She is a human being. She deserves to have relationships and connections with whoever she wants.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that on the surface, when you see it, like if they're out and you see PDA between this 26-year-old and someone who looks like it could be like their child.
You're like, hey, dude.
Right.
Yeah, you could jump to the wrong conclusion easily. But again, that's what the show banks on, because that's what makes the show like interesting to watch, or her learning to drive, being 3'11" or whatever.
Right.
And so like I get it. But yeah, I mean, there's like no one should say, oh, you can't have a relationship. There's nothing, she's doing zero wrong,
Now being the
devil's advocate
here, would it be accepted better if she was in a relationship with someone who was also had a disability?
I don't know about disability, but like if you just saw two people that looked the same, like if they both looked like they were 8, no one would think twice about it. You know, that's the thing. It's like,
but she definitely, as a 23-year-old, can't date an 8-year-old.
No, I know. But like if she had somebody else that had that same like disease or had the same treatments,
but
that led
I mean,
to
that's
this.
like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and the fact that this guy, you know, likes her, it's great. That's awesome, you know. But yeah, it's definitely the first time I saw the trailer for the show, I was like, what in the world? And then you're like, oh, okay, I get it. So it's kind of like a one-trick pony show. Like there's one joke, or not one joke, there's one bit basically in it. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, well, it's not interesting beyond that. Yeah. Like the first time you see people shocked, like, oh, okay, there you go, got it. Don't need to watch anymore. But she seems like she's cool. Like the little bits I've seen of it, she seems like a cool chick. All right, well, do you have any birthdays for us, Lady Rock?
I do not.
Oh, wow, well, that was amazing.
Would you like a question?
I would love one. Since we have 19 minutes in, let's do it.
Okay. Kevin, he wants to know, what is one thing you wish had never been invented? He says his would be pop-up ads, and I would say yes, because I can't tell you how many times I have come unglued from a 5-second commercial before a YouTube video. Yeah. It makes me so angry to the point where I'm like, I will never shop with you again. Like whatever it is that's advertising, they've lost a customer. I have to go through prepping for the show and watching like Good Morning America and different news sites, ABC and all this other stuff. And Good Morning America, they'll have things on there that are just videos instead of like copy to read. And so you're like, okay, I'll watch this video and while I'm writing the story or whatever. And they used to always have like a 30-second ad or a 1-minute ad. You're like, how have you not caught on that this doesn't work? And so I just stopped watching all their videos completely. I wouldn't watch it. You're wasting my time. Now they've gotten to where they do, I think, 7-second ads, but you're still, I got to watch an ad before this. So the story's got to be really good in order for me to sit through the ad, even though it's 7 seconds, you know? Yeah. I think something that I wish had never been invented was soda.
Oh, no. Amen. Like, I love it to death, but I wish I didn't love it to death. Yeah.
I don't drink it because I don't like carbonation. Yeah. But if it had never been invented, a lot of people's diabetes would probably be under control. Maybe their weight.
I think we would have found a way.
Maybe.
Because if you just think about the amount of sugar in like sweet tea.
It's ridiculous.
It's not vastly different.
But that's true. You're right. It just doesn't burn my throat. We will find
some way to self-destruct.
Yeah. That's how we work in
without
America.
a doubt. Yeah. Ooh. Probably
skinny jeans.
Yeah.
That's my vote.
No, earrings on men.
No. Donuts. Probably donuts. Yeah.
There's so many other better options. There's so many other different options.
That's
Jesus's chicken.
Yeah, that's wrong.
If I could take Chick-fil-A away, it would be good for me and it would destroy Betty.
It would.
I'm like, oh, it's a win-win. Oh, Gavin, you got anything before we go?
Oh, I said skinny jeans.
Oh, you were serious. Oh.
Oh, you were serious.
I am. All right, that's going to do it for your Aftercast. Thanks for being a potty.